Feature Friday.
The freshest.
Well, have a look at this picture and tell me it doesn't look like Stray Kids Spider-Verse.
Literally.
I thought it was literally a picture of like a Spideyverse movie thing.
I think Hyunjin looks like a Spider-Man as well.
Literally. But yeah,
Like
this
what?
is Maniac. And
Let's have a look. Let's break it down, baby.
that's what you're here for. Let's break it down.
Because what? I think there's a lot. I think there's gonna be a lot.
Apparently, from what you guys have told me. Yeah, go on.
Let's go. Okay.
It is like Spideyverse kind of thing.
Let's go.
Aha. Okay.
Slow.
In the visuals, right? So you have this whole like Doctor Strange type of like visuals here. I am actually quite interested where it's gonna lead, because the sample right off the bat didn't actually suggest surrealism.
True.
But you know, I don't know where this is gonna lead.
True. It suggests
quite interesting.
it's just more of an action-packed, both visual and auditory experience.
But not surrealism.
No. This is what I think makes him probably the best though. That go back, that adding of, because again they did this in Thunderous as well, and that's what I thought was the best comeback of last year.
Yeah.
And they do mix this kind of odd aspect of like special effects.
Yeah.
You know, After Effects kind of feel with like this is a good enough of a shot on its own, right? Like, but
the color grading is perfect.
But they
the
have to
lens
add
flares.
this kind of extra details to add what I think makes Stray Kids special, which is they're good as a traditional band, but then the reason why I think they have fans and people like them is because they're more than that.
That's right.
You know?
They go the extra mile.
Yes.
Cool choreo. That transition was awesome.
Oh, that shit again. The best rap line, arguably one of the best rap lines in Korea at the moment in a group.
You know what? I like the progression.
Oh, he's an
and I
Aries.
like this. Yay! Aries gang, by the way. Merch. For
Oh,
my
yeah.
birthday.
Birthday
Aries
merch for
gang.
featurefightstore.com.
Again, I think that progression from like introducing the rap section with such a quirky beat and like animalistic approach to the like safari like I like it. It adds more to the comic book aesthetic that we've been getting lately from Stray Kids.
I think what we'll do is let's keep looking at the video frame by
Yes.
frame like we used to, well, like we like to do, and then at the end we'll bring up the lyrics, because the lyricism is quite a big deal. Like one of the points he's trying to bring up is obviously, you know, it seems kindness isn't trending anymore. It's just do whatever you want for views, you know, at whatever
Yeah.
expense. So I think that's kind of what they're alluding to. We'll have a look at the lyrics at the end. So
Okay. Yay!
Oh Jesus! What the fuck?
Freaking hell! Felix, man, my man!
Done?
What on the... I want to hear that chorus again, sir! Did he hit me with a drill?
Hey.
Oh my god!
That's probably again what makes them a bit unfair with the competition, because I think they probably are the only group that has such vocal dynamics in that sense, natural dynamics. Because, you know, Felix does provide shit that no one can.
Yes.
You know, arguably another person that does that is Bang Young-gook with that
Yes.
type of range with his voice. If you don't know who he is, highly recommend you fucking You probably do know his voice. But he's got the deepest voice in the whole of the Korea, basically.
Yeah.
Korea deep by Jungkook or Felix, right? So it's like naturally that's kind of like an unfair advantage, right? And in the chorus they can kind of highlight these things, exploit them to their favor, and utilize, other members that are, perhaps more inclined to high vocals or have a more high-pitched voice, and create those natural dynamics that they didn't have to be put in post-production. It's just the natural dynamism of the group.
That's right. And I think overall that's one of the catch, the hooks of Stray Kids, definitely the vocal dynamics. But what I like about this chorus approach is that even though you have a very linear chorus line, that the main focus is the quirkiness of Felix's voice, you had an amazing ad-libs is layered on top of it. So in the chorus you get like, you have this like zooming in, zooming out type of like effect, but it's auditory because you have the vocal layers that are playing right on top of Felix's voice. Here we go. So busy, but it's perfect. It's perfect for the dynamics.
It is very busy.
You hear that? It's so much. Yes, sir.
Nice.
Cool.
Again, it's like, fuck,
See, it's like Doctor Strange. I'm telling you, this is Doctor Strange Stray Kids version.
True, that's actually...
They're part of the MCU. They're not. You cannot literally tell me otherwise now.
Yeah, that's true, go ahead.
Isn't it? No, but I just wanted to point out that up to this point, we've been 1 minute and 36 seconds into the song. Obviously, the music video is so stimulating that you can just talk about the music video for a whole hour. But what I like about the song so far is that you've been having the cocktail effect that we talk often, that we don't naturally resonate with. But in this particular case, I have welcomed every change in such an easy manner.
I think it's because of the visualization of things. I mean, that's essentially the conversation we were having the other day. It's like, how can videos create enough of how can videos synchronize well enough so that then visual captivity is maximized, but then connected through the auditory experience, which you do this really well in movies. If you've seen the latest Batman, it does that really well.
Oh, fantastic.
Dune from did it release this year? Dune?
Last year
did that really well, where it's no longer separate elements of entertainment. They are both a unity.
That's right.
There are some missed opportunities I see here. Like, for example, it's interesting that when they do the Doctor Strange effect thing on, so the allure of the video, which is that the special effects, didn't have a special
sound effect
on the song.
Yeah.
So they're both different elements. Good or bad, who gives a fuck? It still looks amazing. But that's what I mean. Like, as a whole concept, however, the video and the song are so intertwined that even though it does have this sort of K-pop, what would you call it, cocktail effect of so many different rhythms and genres and voices, it still has enough synchronicity that it doesn't lose you.
It's harmonious.
That's it.
Nonetheless, yeah. I love that he was looking into the window as well.
Fire! Go left.
Efra, fanboy mode.
That's good.
Also, I think they're alluding that they are their own neurons, like they're playing neurons here, because the transition is like inside electricity, and then you're inside the brain. So that's
all the
cool.
Neurotransmitters, yeah.
Yeah. You see, they're like the electricity in your brain.
Tornado, let's go.
Maniac.
That might be the hardest drop of the year. What the
So
fuck?
cool. I love the addition of the birds effects. Even though every time the birds come in, you see butterflies. Fun.
Is it butterflies?
I think it was butterflies.
It can't be. It wouldn't make much sense.
I think they were. It's a bird. It's an actual bird. I thought it was a butterfly.
You weren't showing. That's more of what I'm alluding to. That both elements, auditory and visual stimuli, became so congruent enough that it becomes one. So you're like in this IMAX sort of experience. That's what I think we're gonna start getting. Well, you were seeing it more and more this year. We're in The Simpsons.
Sick.
It's just the detail, but it adds so much.
Well, they're like in this parallel universe thing. You see, and the vocals come in like "You Can't Stop the Smoke." It's so cool.
Good.
It's so much. Again, it adds to the whole parallel universe, multi-dimensional effect.
That's a good chorus, ladies and gentlemen. That's a really good chorus.
Not only a great chorus, but I think perhaps it's one of my favorite cocktails of things that is so busy, but it doesn't take you out of
Very
it.
good. Very promising. Go on. It's quite interesting to what they're alluding to, but lyricism-wise, it's quite intriguing. I haven't figured it out yet. Pause. But let's listen to that again.
Nice approach.
I don't think you were showing it, or maybe you were.
Yeah, I was. That's a nice approach to a breakdown, because it's been so busy, right? Up to this point, it's been layers, a lot of visual stimuli. I thought we were gonna get even busier towards the end of the song, and then they actually take everything away, and they give you this like drop, like standing still in time effect, and it's pretty dope. I didn't see that coming. Oh,
that's good.
fantastic.
The fuck was that? Hot dog? Yeah, pizza.
Yeah, pizza.
Oh, and then the chorus continues to what it naturally was, right? But that's, again, it's interesting because literally when I was just alluding to perhaps I did miss out on some opportunities to add even more atmosphere, then they go and kick it out the park in this manner. Yeah. It's really intriguing now, especially because I am kind of tired of the whole structurized formula that it seems to happen quite often, especially in the South Korean music industry. So instead of giving me a climax through a build-up that then leads to a dance breakdown, you strip it all away and then you give me back to the chorus, which lets me know they know that might be one of the best choruses they've made.
It's definitely the hooking part of that song for sure.
Or at least
Sickening.
What the fuck?
Nice.
Maybe that's how they feel, like a caged bird.
Yeah, well, there's definitely some allure there.
Stray kids everywhere, all around the world. You make us.
You make Stray Kids stay.
It's as if they didn't have that in every video. Put the lyrics up really fast, please.
Absolutely. I want to know credits too, because I know they're very involved in the production of stuff. So you know what? Let's talk about the visuals in that video. Absolutely fascinating. That's the type of stuff that I want to see more, and I think JYP is definitely leading towards that surrealist superhero type of stuff. They did it with NMIX.
Yeah, you're seeing it with NMIX is quite peculiar because essentially what NMIX is a mix of things, right?
Yeah.
But with Stray Kids, given their widely known involvement in their stuff,
yeah.
So it goes like this: sure you put it up for
Yeah, wait,
So he goes, relax everyone, stop pretending to be normal. All of your smiles look weird. When the lock is released, we're all the same. Your eyes can't fool me, ho.
Ho, sorry.
The real self has been released, barely holding up. So lots to alluding to sort of, what would you call it? Psychology to a certain extent, you know, the
Breaking free.
Yeah, the id, the ego and the superego. Barely holding up after blinking once, back to cosplaying and what society defines normal to be. Pow. Yeah, okay. I'm more understanding much more. It's sort of like, it is quite weird, right, to see what it's deemed normal and what isn't deemed normal.
Yep.
Mash up, mind blown, put my mind on back up. Prototype on the inside, I'm always a freaky monster. Kindness is no longer trending, now rotten. You can backbite me as much as you want. I'll ignore them anyway. Popping, if you think I'm just pure and innocent, you're wrong. When a favor continues, people think it's their right. Toxic. This is what drives me crazy. Warning. It must be rather conflicting, I guess, when you're such a popular figure.
Yeah.
In the sense of, I mean, you don't even know who to trust to begin with, but everyone seems to think they know you better than you do. You know, and all of the comments, it's really bizarre. Being a public figure at that level, I cannot imagine the conflicting nature that may cause. And to a certain extent, you are performing. You are a performer. So you perform for people's sakes of entertainment.
That's right.
And then the question is, at what cost?
Exactly.
You know, and are the rewards worth enough the cost?
That's true. I totally agree. It must be quite a conflicting reality to be facing constantly.
I mean, you ask you're Changbing or Hyujin, you probably ask any of them, and then they'll be like, yeah, it is worth it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't think people ask that shit enough before they get involved.
That's true. That's true.
Ask themselves that.
Yeah, there's something that comes out in after, a lot, and you can see it in the chronological in discography with a lot of famous people. It comes in way later, and it becomes like, oh, my opinion about myself and stuff like that.
I think it might have been I forgot to pronounce the name because Lee is pronounced E, right?
Yeah.
In Korean, so E no. I think it was him on a live or on a V live or something, and he was speaking something along those lines. I can't remember. It might have been him. It might not have been, but he was mentioning something like that. It's like it's like you kind of have to just get used to it, just move on. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think it was him. Anyway, so Maniac going crazy, like I have a loose screw. Maniac spinning, going crazy. Maniac walk like Frankenstein. Maniac, laugh like I have a loose screw. Maniac spinning, going crazy. And that's the thing. That's funny, right? Because he's like, lyrically speaking, it's not like a fucking genius lyrically speaking chorus. But God, does it hit?
It works so well with the beat production and how they've managed to create such an atmospheric effect surrounding it. Yeah,
that's a good sentence. Like the seam of a torn doll.
Huh.
Eventually, you'll expose your real self.
That's true.
And this not easy life. It ain't life. It's holding on. Yeah. Again, that's probably what it feels like to them. Plus, you had the exhaustion, you had all this other stuff
sleep
going
deprivation and overwork.
Yeah. Relax, everyone. Stop pretending to be normal. All of your smiles, no fresh. When the locket is open, we're all the same. Your eyes can't fool me. Ho. So it's like kind of like I think that's probably what the bird represents, right? Liberation.
Yes.
Liberation. This street I'm walking on is a minefield, like a dormant volcano. I love that fucking section, that rapping
that
section.
Was so cool.
Yeah. Never know when it'll all explode. Never know when the calm winds will change. When is the next drama gonna spark up?
Yep.
Who the fuck's gonna lie next? Something about me, you know what I mean?
Yep.
Never know when the calm winds will change. Everyone lives hiding themselves like a seal tornado. Popping. If you think I'm just pure and innocent, you're wrong. When a favor continues, people think it's their right. Toxic. This is what drives me crazy.
Warning. Maniac.
People think that then yes, well, that can be interpreted as, people think they own you to a certain extent.
Yes.
They also think that you owe them everything, and it's quite strange, right? Because to some extent you do, right? You owe the fans everything.
Uh-huh.
But at the same, again, at what cost?
That's completely true.
And then he goes to the bridge, which is quite an important part. Eyes filled with lunatic. I don't know how grammatically correct that is. All senses are tense, locked up, or wrapped up in that pretty package. As time goes by, it'll eventually be revealed. The inner self that was hidden. Yeah, I mean, if you're a monster from the inside, it will come out eventually. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Some of these guys
escaping
are
that.
crazy. Like, that's why they're artists. They have so much to say and think.
Yeah.
But can we have a look at the credits, maybe?
I'm just trying to.
Creds. Maybe it's too early.
Maybe it's too early.
Well, you guys probably know more than us. Anyway, so let us know perhaps if you do know they were heavily involved in this, or perhaps they weren't. Was this a concept that they had thought about it before? Was JYP heavily involved in the creation of this? Which I would imagine they are. Oh, view all credits.
View all credits.
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
there's nothing else
yet.
yet. Well, let us know what you guys thought about it. And apart from that, I hope you enjoyed the breakdown. That's kind of how I think
this thing should be approached.
Yeah.
So they get so much meat.
No, I think also, there's other great people out there that kind of do them more, they listen to it and stuff like that. But doing something a bit different, I think, doesn't hurt. But let us know your thoughts.
And if you haven't seen the whole music video, I'll leave a link in the description below. You can go back and rewatch it a ton of times because that video is insane.
Yeah, and after this, we'll go ahead and listen to it on one straight because it is also good to listen to it in a continuous manner. But yeah, let us know your thoughts and goodbye.
Goodbye.